Hi guys, so the play I had the opportunity of looking into, well, basically this is a play I've actually read before. It is The Unnatural and Accidental Woman by Marie Clements. It took place in Vancouver, the downtown Vancouver, and it is a play about the murder of 10 women. Keep that in mind, 10, or at least 10. There are a lot of characters in the play, so it's kind of hard to keep focus of each of them, so kind of take them one by one or not. Anyways, so most of them are indigenous and they were murdered by a man named Gilbert Paul Jordan. So the play doesn't focus on him, it focuses on the women, which is kind of good, because a lot of plays don't really, they mostly focus on the killer and his motives and everything, but this is more of the women and how their lives were before the time of their death. Anyways, so it kind of gives us a space to talk about their hopes, dreams, even though they weren't able to live to it. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of characters, so it's kind of hard to keep track of them, but we do have Rebecca, basically almost like the main character, because we see her in two ages. When she was younger, like 4 years old, that was like when her mom went missing, and then we have her at 30 years old when she became a writer, and then we have her mom and Shady. I don't know if it's Shady or Shat, call it Shady. Anyways, our mom is one of the murdered women. And then so Rebecca's search for her mother kind of like ties into the story and gives us like a backstory of how they felt and how before the time of their death and the things they thought about. So we also have Rose, who is an English immigrant. We have Violet, who is Afro-Canadian. And then we have a lot of women, indigenous women, whose names are a lot, because I'm not really good with names, so I'm just gonna read their names out. So we have Mavis, we have Verna, we have Valerie, Marilyn, Penny, and Patsy. So these characters, even though it kind of spoils from the beginning that they're gonna die, kind of spoils the ending, where the play gives us a moment with them, get to know what they wanted to do with their lives, their dreams, how they felt, and even gives us a story, the few moments to when they were gonna die, like how were they feeling, what were they going through. So genre wise, it's basically no straight for us, because he has drama, has tragedy, which was already spoiled from the beginning because we know they're gonna die. It has mystery, there are a lot of mystery, diving into what happened and how it happened. And then we also have like the indigenous theater with like surrealism elements. Kind of gives us, because it's not just a crime story, so it's not just talking, we're not just, it's not, the book is not just about how they died, why they died. It's more like a memory that they are not forgotten, but they will never be erased, because till now we're still talking about them, we still read the books, so it's more like a remembrance of them. So if I were to dive into the themes, I would say there's murder, there's racism, there's violence, there's silence. And basically the play, or I would say the book, is basically showing us that they were targeted because they were indigenous. So the system or the media didn't really care to protect them or even tell their stories. So this is more like telling their story without the help of the media, but technically the media is involved. So that's what makes this play so important, because it pushes against that, so it's bringing them right in front of us. So basically for me, The Unnatural and Accidental Woman it goes beyond the tragedy, to be honest, even though it is haunting, like it kind of gives a voice to people who never got one, example them, and then it goes beyond their tragedy, the death, shows us that they were not forgotten, and we should also talk about them. There are a lot of characters, so it ends up being confusing, but you still end up feeling like you know them, even though you might not know their names, like me. And that's the point, because it kind of reminds us that they mattered. So, yeah. Thank you, guys.